Let's start with the truth most people don't want to face. We are fragile. Our moods can be broken by a single insult, our confidence destroyed by a single failure, our sense of self ruled by the opinions of others. We pretend we are strong, yet most of us are prisoners, slaves to anger, fear, jealousy, and shame. The Stoics saw this weakness centuries ago. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." And that's the heart of Stoicism, reclaiming your freedom by learning self-control, resilience, and clarity of mind. Today, we'll walk through 12 Stoic lessons, not just abstract philosophy, but practical weapons to sharpen your character and strengthen your confidence. Let's break them down. 1. Control the inner fortress. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Our personality begins with this truth. Everything outside us is beyond our command. Status, wealth, even love, they can vanish. But what we choose to think, how we react, how we interpret reality, that is untouchable. Confidence doesn't come from controlling the world, it comes from controlling yourself. 2. Practice voluntary discomfort. Seneca advised sleeping on the floor, wearing rough clothes, fasting, reminding himself that hardship cannot break him. When we voluntarily embrace discomfort, real confidence grows. We are no longer fragile, terrified of loss or failure. By suffering on purpose, we prove to ourselves I can endure. 3. Memento mori. Remember you will die. We waste our lives fearing embarrassment, hiding our true selves, and chasing approval. But death is always near. Marcus wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think." Confidence doesn't come from arrogance. It comes from remembering how short life is and refusing to waste it living in fear. 4. Detach from opinions. Epictetus said, "If someone speaks ill of you, do not defend yourself, but reply, 'He surely does not know my other faults, else he would not have mentioned only these.'" When we stop craving validation, we stop being manipulated by praise and destroyed by criticism. A Stoic personality is firm, not because it is perfect, but because it doesn't bend to every opinion. 5. Turn obstacles into fire. Marcus, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This is not just poetic, it's a battle strategy. Every obstacle you face is fuel. Every insult, every failure, every setback. These are the raw materials that forge character. Instead of avoiding difficulties, use them. 6. Train the tongue. Seneca warned, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Much of our weakness comes from the stories we tell ourselves. A Stoic trains their tongue, outwardly and inwardly. Speak less, and when you do, speak with weight. Silence, calm words, and measured speech radiate confidence far more than nervous chatter ever will. 7. Accept the role. Fate assigns. Epictetus compared life to a play. We don't choose our role, only how we perform it. Some are cast as kings, some as beggars, some live long, some die young. Confidence comes from accepting what cannot be changed and acting with dignity in whatever role we've been given. 8. Master your desires. The world tells us confidence comes from getting more money, more pleasure, more recognition. But the Stoics reversed this logic. True power is the ability to say no. Seneca, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." Confidence is born when we are not controlled by cravings. When you can walk away from temptations, status, attention, indulgence, you stop being needy and start being free. 9. Face insults with calm. Confidence is tested not in easy times, but when provoked. The Stoics practiced indifference to insult. To be rattled by another's words is to give them control. Marcus said, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed, and you haven't been." A strong personality is not the loudest voice in the room, it is the calmest. 10. Live with purpose, not drift. Confidence collapses when we live without aim. Seneca observed, "If a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable." To live stoically is to live with direction. Decide what virtues matter to you: courage, justice, discipline, and let every choice flow from them. A personality with purpose is unshakable. 11. Practice daily reflection. Marcus wrote his meditations not for the world, but for himself. Epictetus told his students to examine each day, to test their actions against their philosophy. Reflection builds character because it exposes self-deception. The unexamined life drifts. The examined life sharpens. Confidence comes from knowing who you are because you've looked closely, without excuses. 12. Embrace the whole of life. Amor fati. Nietzsche later echoed the Stoics. Amor fati, love your fate. Not endure it, not accept it, love it. Whatever happens, good or bad, is woven into the fabric of your life. To resist is to weaken yourself. To embrace is to gain strength. Imagine meeting every twist of fortune with the words, "Yes, this too belongs to me." That is the highest confidence a human being can hold. So here we stand. 12 lessons, 12 weapons against fragility. The Stoics never promised us happiness in the shallow sense. They offered something harder, something darker, but infinitely stronger. Freedom from destructive emotions, resilience against fate, and the kind of confidence that cannot be broken by loss, insult, or death itself. We are fragile, yes, but fragility is not our destiny. The Stoics proved that strength is possible, not by controlling the world, but by mastering ourselves. The question is not whether these teachings are ancient. The question is whether you are willing to practice them daily, relentlessly, with the seriousness of someone who knows life is short. Because here's the truth: confidence is not given, it is forged, and Stoicism is the fire.